Field layout is the backbone of successful agricultural production. Before a single seed is planted, we need to carefully plan how the land will be organized, from boundaries and pathways to irrigation lines and crop arrangement. In this lesson, we'll see how a well-structured layout not only makes farming more efficient, but also ensures sustainability and higher yields. What is a planting system? A planting system is the method or arrangement used to establish crops in the field, ensuring proper spacing, growth, and management. Can you enumerate different systems of planting? Okay, so we have square system, rectangular, triangular, and quincunx. Square system, plants are placed at equal distances in rows and columns, forming squares. Rectangular, similar to square, but spacing between rows is wider than spacing between plants. Triangular system, plants are arranged in a triangle, giving more space and better light distribution. And quincunx system is an additional plant is placed in the center of each square, maximizing land use. Planting systems are important because they ensure efficient use of land, proper crop growth, safer field operations, and higher yield. They also help in managing irrigation, fertilization, and pest control effectively. Let's define different terms related to the topic. First, field layout, which refers to the arrangement of plants within a field. It involves the systematic planning of plant spacing and alignment to optimize growing conditions and facilitate farm operations. Ito ay parang plano ng bukid kung paano maayos na ilalagay ang mga halaman para mas madali ang pagtatanim, pagdidilig at pag-aani. Next, row orientation, the direction in which rows of plants are planted. Row orientation can influence light exposure, wind flow, and irrigation efficiency. For example, planting rows in an east-west orientation can maximize sunlight exposure. Ito ay direksyon ng pagtatanim ng mga hanay. Kapag tama ang direksyon, mas nakukuha ng halaman ang sikat ng araw at mas maayos ang daloy ng hangin at tubig. And planting systems, different patterns or systems used for arranging plants in the field. Ito ang iba't ibang paraan ng pag-aayos ng tanim sa lupa. Ang bawat sistema ay may sariling benepisyo depende sa uri ng pananim at laki ng lupa. The following are field design considerations. First, topography. The layout should account for the natural slope and shape of the land to manage water flow and erosion. Ito ay tumutukoy sa natural na anyo at slope ng lupa. Kapag isinaalang-alang ang topografiya, mas madaling kontrolin ang daloy ng tubig at maiiwasan ang erosion. Next is irrigation, which is the arrangement should facilitate efficient irrigation practices, whether through drip, sprinkler, or flood irrigation. Ito ang sistema ng pagdidilig sa taniman. Kapag maayos ang plano ng irigasyon, mas nakakatipid sa tubig at mas pantay ang pag-abot ng sustansya sa mga halaman. And access. Paths and access roads should be planned to allow easy movement for planting, maintenance, and harvesting equipment. Ito ang mga daanan o ruta sa bukid. Mahalaga ito para madaling makapasok ang tao at makagalaw ang mga kagamitan sa pagtatanim, pag-aalaga at pag-aani. Let's have a practical example. With a desired population of 30,000 plants per acre and a layout of 30-inch row spacing and 6-inch in row spacing, we create the right balance for corn growth. Proper spacing ensures each plant gets enough light, nutrients, and room to thrive, showing us that plant population is the foundation of healthy yields and sustainable farming. To determine plant population, we use the formula plants per acre equals 43,560 square foot per acre divided by row spacing times in row spacing. So with a row spacing of 30 inches, which is equivalent to 2.5 feet, and an in row spacing of 6 inches equivalent to 0.5 feet, the area per plant is 2.5 times 0.5 equals 1.25 square foot. Now let's divide. So 43,560 divided by 1.5 or 25 equals 34,848 plants per acre. This shows that with 30-inch rows and 6-inch spacing, we achieve about 34,848 plants per acre, which is slightly higher than the desired 30,000. Adjusting spacing is how we fine-tune plant population to match our target. When designing a cornfield layout, orientation matters. Rows are placed east to west to maximize sunlight exposure throughout the day. To make crop management easier, we include access paths every 10 rows, allowing movement for maintenance and harvesting. For water efficiency, drip irrigation lines are installed along the rows, ensuring each plant receives consistent moisture. Together, these design choices create a layout that supports healthy growth, easy access, and sustainable farming. To put the field layout into practice, first mark the rows and paths using stakes and string. Next, plant the seeds and calculated spacing to achieve the desired population. Then, install drip irrigation lines along the rows and check the water supply is consistent. By carefully managing plant population and field layout, farmers create the right conditions for growth, improve yields, and support sustainable agriculture. Designing a field layout is not without challenges, whether it's aligning rows correctly, balancing plant population with available space, or fitting in excess paths without losing too much planting area. Accuracy comes from careful measurement, converting spacing into feet, and consistently checking alignment with stakes, strings, or grid lines. And in the end, the benefits of a well-chosen planting system are clear: better sunlight exposure, efficient water use, easier maintenance, and healthier plants that lead to stronger yields. These reflections remind us that thoughtful planning in agriculture is the key to sustainable success.